Hi, my name is Emily, and this is the Delight Knits podcast. I believe we're episode 38. Today is Saturday, September 23rd, and it has been about a month-ish, 4 weeks-ish, since I've last podcasted. 2 weeks ago when I've kind of been on a 2-week schedule, but 2 weeks ago I was pretty sick and not able to do anything, and I had actually gone like a full week without knitting, which is odd for me. And then last week was DFW Fiberfest and I was out of town, so it's just been a month, and that's okay. But I have a few WIPs to talk about that I've gotten a lot of progress on and a lot of acquisitions. So as I said, I went to DFW Fiberfest last weekend, and then I also had ordered some yarn that has come in. So I am wearing right now, this is the, we just installed a ceiling fan in our house. So we live in a double wide, and ceiling fans are not standard, and so it's a little chillier in here, but that's fine with me. So I'll just wear my knits. This is the Mist Tea by Lesley and Robinson. It's in her book. I think it's for Brioche for Beginners and Beyond or something like that. But that's what this is. I did block it and got the length out of it. I wore it to DFW and loved it. I did take her class and did that. There's notifications. But the blue is Twilight from Ruby and Roses, and that is actually the same blue here in this cardigan. And then the pink, which you can kind of see here by itself, is Tattered Pages. And so that was leftovers from a couple of different projects. So the blue, I had 2 skeins from my long summer cardigan, which I'm wearing here. And I only used like a skein, or 50 grams for this cardigan. And so I had quite a bit left over to be able to use here. And then for my long summer cardigan, it is Golden Hour from Ruby and Roses and Twilight. And the Golden Hour, I think she's revamped it, so it's not, if you order it from her, it's not gonna look the exact same. But I love this cardigan, and it is the extra long, like way past your butt. Yeah, so that's what I'm wearing. This neckline is not my favorite, but I enjoy it. It still fits really well. I will get somewhere out of it. So what have I been working on the last month? My favorite project, I had almost finished the hem. I think I had like a row and a bind off to go, and I did that, and I took this to DFW Fiberfest and I wore it without blocking it. I had woven in the ends. I still haven't finished the collar, like ribbing, like this part of it. But this is my Guardi Cardi by the Bluebird Box, who's Anna Daku, I think is how you say her name. She's up in Canada. This is still damp. It's fingering weight held together. So 2 strands of fingering weight to marl it together. And so I blocked this last night, so it's still a little damp, so I'm not gonna hold it up for that long. But it is definitely, it's a lot more oversized than what it was when I was wearing it at DFW. But it is finished, and I did wear it, and I got so many compliments on it. I love this pattern, and I hope to see a lot more people knitting it. But yeah, so here it is in all of its glory, and that actually like covers my butt now that the garter stitches relaxed. And when I put it on, it does actually like line up pretty well as well. So I will, I wanted to block it because I plan on doing the collar. The pattern says to, so here's the edge right there. The pattern says to knit it separately and then seam it on. I do not want to seam that big of a thing on, so I'm gonna try and like knit it and pick it up kind of like the jelly roll blanket does, if you've seen that. So that is my plan with that, and I needed to block it first. So I need to go lay that back out when I'm done podcasting, let it dry up. Maybe I can start that this week. But I love it. It's knit out of Ruby and Rose's yarn. You'll see a theme. Ruby and Rose's Yarns 2022 Advent Calendar. So my next project is in my Arkansas Yarn Co. bag from the, or Arkansas Yarn Crawl bag. And this is the Cricket sweater by Brooklyn Tweed, and I believe it was actually designed by Julie Hoover. So here is the Cricket sweater, and it is a men's sweater, and it is supposed to be knit in pieces, like a front, a back. The sleeves are knit flat, and then you seam it all up and you pick up for the collar. Well, I knit the body in the round until you get its bottom up as well. So I knit the body in the round until you get here, and then do the front and back, which is exactly what I did with this. So you'll do the front and the back, although there's a lot more shaping in the shoulders and sleeves. And then I knit the sleeves. The sleeves are knit bottom up as well. I knit them in the round until you get to the shoulder shaping, kind of like this is here, where you do short rows and stuff, and then I knit it flat then. But I have finished pretty much everything but the collar. Last time I spoke, I took all my stitch markers off yesterday. Whoops. I think I was like right in here. I had not yet split for the front and back. But this is the front, and you can see there's quite a bit of neck shaping here. This is a sample for Addie, and it is her husband's Rhinebeck sweater. It is knit out of Letter Writer and, oh boy, what's the other one? Typewriter. So there's Typewriter, and they're both on the plump rows. This one's folded better. This is her label if you've never seen it before. I held that upside down. Okay, there we go. There we are. So Letter Writer, and then Typewriter is the contrast at the bottom, which I'll hold up here in a second. But so there we go. So it's got broken ribbing in different colors. The ribbing is on 2.25 needles, and then I think this is 3.25 or 3 millimeters, somewhere around there. Small needles. Fingering weight yarn. It's her plump rose, her 8515 2 ply. So there is the body, and I did alternate skeins until I got to like this little bit right here. There was no point, but I did alternate skeins going up through here, and I think it didn't, I mean, there's a little bit of pooling up at the top there, but when I switched to knitting flat, but not too bad at all. So it is on the front, and I don't think so much on the back. I think it looks great. And then here are the sleeves. So there is one sleeve, and you can see the same patterning there, and where I knit flat. And so I do need to seam the shoulders together, and then I need to seam these on it. See, it'll be like that. It's so odd. I mean, I've never seamed a sweater like this before, so we'll see how it goes, but it looks like it's gonna fit pretty well. I knit the smallest size, so sleeve 1 and sleeve 2. And I did alternate until I knit flat on these. There was no point. It was, but they look great. And I'm hoping to get this done this week. Maybe tomorrow. Do the seaming and pick up, I've got 1 inch of a collar, and that won't take me long at all. Got quite a bit of yarn left over. I hardly ever didn't use that much of this, and then I've got quite a bit here. So I used 4 skeins, but this could probably, I don't think it's a full skein, but it's close. this little bit will be perfect for seaming. But that is that, and I will send this off hopefully next week. The goal day was October 1st, so I've got a full week until that, which will be perfect. So the next two things are new cast-ons that you have not seen. Let's see, in my Sassafras Knits bag, I have cast on a brand new sock. This is out of some stash yarn. This is Daisy Stitch Co. in an one-of-a-kind skein from, I think, at least 2 years ago, maybe longer. I tried knitting it up in a muscle burrow hat, which is why you can see that it's wrapped around, and the pooling just didn't make me happy. But I cast this on Thursday night. And yeah, it's doing some cool striping pooling, and I like it in socks. I did not like it in a muscle burrow. So I am about to heel. I plan on gifting these, and so I've got 2 people who I want to gift socks this year, and I need to ask one of them tomorrow at church if she likes blues and greens, and if so, this is for her. If not, it'll probably be for the other person. So I will do the heel probably this evening. We'll see. And then move on from there. So I knit my socks at a 64 stitch count, 2x2 ribbing for the cuff for 20 rounds, and then I've done 60 rounds, or I'm going to do 60 rounds, so it'll be a fairly tall sock on a US 0, 2mm. I think it's a 0. I know it's a 2mm. I go by the millimeter sizes, not the US sizes, just easier. So yeah, that is that project. Forgot how fast socks fly off the needles. I haven't knit a pair of socks in forever. And if you remember, if you've been watching for a while, at the beginning of the year, I showed you my bag of little scraps and said I'm gonna knit a pair of Scrappy Socks every month. I think that lasted 2 months. We'll see how that goes on. But my next project, I cast on literally last night at like 9 o'clock last night. This is in my, what is it, String Crazy bags. I think she has an Etsy shop, and I will try and find it for you. I got this on the Arkansas Yarn Co. And I will try to have links to everything I can in the description box, and like names of patterns and designers and all that. The String Crazy bags, and I'm pretty sure she has an Etsy shop. I love this. But I cast on a sweater for my daughter. If you saw my Instagram story from last night, so she was helping me wind the yarn. She's been asking for a sweater for the last month or 2 since I've been knitting other things. And since they were samples, I kind of couldn't put them down to knit her a sweater. So I'm finally to that point. Went through some stash yarns and found what I thought was perfect, and she was happy with it. So I am knitting the Flax Light, and I am knitting the 8 to 10 year old size. It's probably gonna be a little big on her, but the 4 to 6 that I knit her last year is small. Like short on her, it's like 0 inches of ease. The sleeves come to like right here on her. Oh, my 4-year-old literally just turned 4. I'm knitting the 8 to 10 year old size. But I am using stash yarn. I am using this pink for the collar and ribbing, all the ribbing areas. And this is yarn that I dyed myself that I used in my Allie's Sweater Light test knit. And then I am using this, which is more Ruby and Roses yarn. This is Paintbrush, I believe. You see, they're in her old label, so I'm not going to show it. But yes, this is Paintbrush in her Plump Rose. And this is the first time I'm mixing bases, which, I mean, my daughter's not going to care. But I think it'll be fine. They're close enough. I know this one's an 80-20, and this one I think is an 85-15. I don't know what ply that one is. It looks like more than a 2-ply. This one's a 2-ply. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to need another skein of yarn for like the body and sleeves and stuff. So I went ahead and caked up this Ruby and Roses, which I believe is on her old Plump Rose base. And it is pensive. And so these I think will fade together gorgeously. Gorgeously, if that's the word. They will be great faded together. I'll do like a 4 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows, like I'll figure it out if I need to. But I don't know if I'll do long sleeves. I may do short sleeves, so I may not even need it. But I could do a second sweater for her in that. We'll see. So that's the colors that I'm using, all 3 together. I love the pink addition to it. So that is that. So flax light, size 8 to 10, and I believe it's the last kid size for my 4-year-old. But here it is. I am done with the raglan increases, and I am about an inch from splitting sleeves, and it's all bound up on small needles, but that's fine with me. So the ribbing, I believe, is a 2.75, and the body is a 3.75 millimeter. The flax light is a free pattern, and there is an addition of short rows, and the short rows go after, I probably need to look at that, after the yoke increases, right before you split for sleeves or right after you split for sleeves, something like that. It's a separate PDF. And I impulsively cast this on last night, and I'm a printed pattern girl, so I can circle and make notes. And so at home we don't have a printer. I do not have this one printed out, so it's like back and forth on my phone to figure it out, which is fine. But yeah, I love this. Love it. I love the pink collar. I love the paintbrush on it. But it is Ruby and Roses yarn and my yarn that I dyed. So, and I've tried it on her. I was gonna knit the 6 to 8 year old size, and when I got done with those increases, I tried it on her, and it still seemed a little tight. And I know it's gonna block out, but I'd rather her get 2 years out of it than 1. So we're just gonna go 8 to 10, and she's probably not gonna wear it to school. It may be like a church thing. Because they have been coming home from school dirty. Like, I'm glad they're getting out and playing outside. That's what they need. But I'm not sending her in a hand-knit sweater to school to get covered in red dirt. So that is this bag, or this project. And I imagine it may be finished next time I talk to you. So it's amazing how fast this stuff goes. And in the evenings, I'm reading and knitting. I have just started with a couple people at my church reading through the Bible, like start to finish, through the My Bible app, I think is what it is. There's a chronological, there we go, reading plan. And so we're doing that, and then I've also started with my sister, or my family, my sister, my possible sister-in-law, my brother's girlfriend, and my brother were all reading the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. So I started that again. So I've been reading quite a bit in the evenings to do that, and that's the perfect knitting and reading. It's probably why I haven't seamed the sweater yet, because I want to knit and read, and you can't really seam and read at the same time. So, oh, I do have something else. So I took a class at DFW with Lesley Ann Robinson, and it was the Designing with Brioche class. And I've had this idea in my head for like months. Like I wrote it down on some scrap paper at work, and those scrap papers were dated February. But I have had this idea of a sweater where the point, like it's a top down, you knit the collar, and then it comes to a point here, and it comes to a point on your sleeve here, and same thing in the back and the other sleeve. So it's like a poncho thing, but instead of the points being like corners, I don't know. And then you do short rows to attach everything. Like you attach the points and do short rows back and forth, and long sleeves and short rows here. But the detail is it comes to a point here, like somewhere in this vicinity. I need to work out shaping and all that. And we went through this class, and Lesley was awesome to work with on this. I loved getting to talk to her and stuff. It was a very small class, but that almost helped it. And so I've thought like of doing this design idea in just a normal stocking knit sweater. But then designing with brioche. Let's do that in brioche. So I could do both. So I started out a tiny little doll size swatch in brioche in the class. And these are, I'm using, I don't remember the colorway names, but here's one color and another color from Ruby and Rose's Canary Islands collection. They should still be available on her site. But I knit up this little thing. So here is the idea of where you've got this coming down and it's increasing. So it's like a raglan, but instead of you have 4 points of increasing. But instead of increasing here and in the back, you're increasing in the center and right down the line of your sleeves. So you're shifting it, and then you have those points at different, like they're those design features. So you're not gonna see it that much on here. You can see how the sleeves come down. So I need to get the different rates of increasing and all that done. We'll see if this ever turns into anything. But I would do a brioche option, and then I would do a stocking knit option. So that'll come to a point, and then you can kind of see I've already started the short rows where it'll come across there. And so yeah, you're not really catching the point, and it almost looks like a v-neck. I need to do like my size and see if a v-neck will actually, if it'll be a v-neck or what. And I didn't do a collar on this just for time's sake, but I would do a collar similar to what I did, like the folded over collar in the Allie Sweater test knit, Allie Sweater Light test knit. So that's what I did at DFW Fiberfest. I love it. Love it. The only thing I'm not a fan of is the like big holes in this 4-stitch decrease or increase, but I mean, you could knit it on smaller needles, but not everybody wants to knit a sweater on super small needles like that. So we will see how it goes. But okay, I think that's it for widths. Now I have a bunch of acquisitions. So we'll start out with what I got prior to DFW Fiberfest. And you're gonna hear crinkles because it's all still in the package. So I shopped, I have sample knit for ZZ Textiles. I knit her Dear Duomo, and then I knit her a pair of socks that she posted recently. The Canoe socks, it's KIHNU or something like that. And they're only available in a book, and I don't remember, but so ZZ Textiles, I ordered from her. I had ordered a while back a sweater quantity, and then I ordered from her birthday sale as well. Excuse me. And so I ordered a sweater quantity way back when for the Ally sweater DK version, and this was before I knew there was an Ally sweater light like in the works or something, but I never, this was like 2 months before the testnet came out, maybe a month before the testnet came out, that I ordered the yarn, and it was a pre-order, like 6 to 8 week turnaround, which is fine. I'm super happy to wait. And so that came in. So I got 5 skeins of Collins on DK from ZZ Textiles, and I had already purchased a while back the Coast to Coast Yarn Co. Homespun quilt. Let me pull these out. Okay, so Collins is going to be the main color from ZZ Textiles, and this is DK, and then the like diamonds in the color work is going to be Coast to Coast Yarn Homespun quilt, and I got this out of her like comeback collection or whatever she called it. Encores, that's what she called it. I love Coast to Coast Yarn Co. I went back and forth about getting her Advent and didn't. I think I'm gonna regret it, but that's okay. I don't need more yarn. So that's these. I got 5 of these, and then I've had this one for a while to go with it. So I will be knitting a second one, even though I just finished the fingering weight. I will be knitting a DK weight. I love it. It'll be perfect. So more crinkles real quick. I also purchased out of the birthday sale that she went ahead and sent along and combined it. Made 2 different purchases. So first I purchased this. This is fingering weight, her 100% superwash merino in Corfu. I got a sock set that had the Corfu as, it's been sitting on, I need to vacuum my floor. It's got fuzzes everywhere. But I have a sock set with this as the mini, and I thought that it may be enough to make like a tank top or a 1 skein top with a little bit of extra. I just love this color. And she only had 1. I would have gotten more than 1 if she had more, but this is fine and perfect. So that's the idea for that. I was really just wanting to use my gift card on that sale. I also got, I've been wanting to knit the Easy V sweater, which is a worsted weight sweater by Caitlin Hunter, I think. And so I'm not taking these out. I got these from her birthday sale. This is all in her non-superwash worsted, and it's 100% and it's 218 yards. The main color will be mahogany, which are these 2, and then there's 3 contrast colors of color work in it. This is cadmium yellow, cypress, and then the pink is butterfly bush. So I loved this combination. I went back and forth on getting it. Sat in my cart for probably 2 days before I finally did it. But yeah, so now I don't have a gift card left for her, and it's all sitting here at my house. Happy with that. And then DFW Fiberfest came along. I knew I wasn't going to buy that much yarn. I had my class, and I really just wanted to go and hang out. I got to hang out quite a bit with Macy of Mace of Skeins. I got to hang out with Olga, who just started a yarn cranking service, so I will try and link that down for her if you like to get your yarn cranked into tubes and all of that. And I think she even does the hung hems, so check her out. Went and had lunch with her, and then I even got to sit down and knit with Natalie of Nitty Natty and Love and Stitches for a little bit. Just hung out with a lot of people and talked, and it was great. But I did make some purchases. my first purchase was Mustache Yarn. This is the first time I've seen her in person, but I've bought her yarn in the past. And so she had these, I think, what does she call them? Oh my gosh, what does she call them? Mill ends. So they're not 100 grams, but they are just the ends of it. And so this colorway is Stardust. This one is Stardust, and it is 52 grams. And so I could use 50 grams for a pair of socks easy. And I heard somebody say that it's still like the 2 perfect match sets. So that's something that Mustache does, is with your 100 gram order, it's actually 2 50 gram skeins twisted together, and they match perfectly. So like you don't have to worry about getting perfectly matched stripes on 2 pairs of socks. And I heard somebody say that these were that too, and it actually looks like it. So that's exciting. So then I can literally just knit a tube and knit every last bit of it and find a good contrast color for a afterthought heel. So this one is 52 grams of Stardust on her sock weight, 75-25. And then this one is Unicorn Apocalypse, and it is 56 grams. So I could have gotten so much more, but I don't need more yarn. I'm running out of space. This is also her fingering sock weight, 75-25. And my daughter is obsessed with purple. That's why her sweater is purple. So I was thinking she would love these. This would also make a cute like sock arm sweater for her if I decided to do that, but we'll see. I also purchased some yarn from Charming You. This is her Lush sock base, an 85-15 4-ply, and this is Northern Exposure. And I thought it was gorgeous. Me and Macy sat and talked with her for quite some time because her and Macy are like neighbors and live in the same area. It's just fun to talk to people, but this might make a good Musselburgh hat. We will see, but it was too good to pass up. And then I also won a door prize. I think the classes you get a door prize, like each class gets 1 door prize, and because our class was so small, we both got door prizes. And so mine, I got to choose a skein of yarn from the Purple Lamb, and so that is there. This is Ocean at Night on an 80-20 fingering weight base. I just thought it was gorgeous. So this is something I would not have purchased, but I got another door prize. That was all the yarn I got. I did get some stitch markers from the Sexy Knitter, and I bought some last year too. This year I got, it's like she has a bowl of just, you pick 10 out and then you get a little package thing. Last year I got a little envelope thingy, kind of similar to this, but I loved this. And so I had picked out 10 stitch markers. It's like 10 for $10. So I got this little flower, and then I got 4 little, now I'm wondering if I even got 10. Oh well, not a big deal. I got 4 little mushrooms, and I already had a red one. So I got a pink mushroom, I got a blue mushroom, I got a yellow mushroom, and a purple mushroom. So I like made my own little set, and then I got all these little ducks. I got a blue one, a yellow one, I got a white one, and then a purple one. So I think I only got 9. But oh well, that's fine. I don't need more. This is perfect. I might have used one on, oh, I bet. Oh yeah, I did get 10 because I got the E that's on here. E for Emily. I knew I was missing one. Okay. And then because I spent so much, or she was doing it, if you were one of the first to purchase from her shop, you got a little Heart of Texas set. So I got this heart thing, and then there are 5 little Texas things. So there's a yellow one, a black one, a pink one, a gray, and a white little Texas set, if you can see that there. So I am set with stitch markers. There was also a stitch marker swap going on, just like with anybody. And I did not take stitch markers, but I bought these like safety pins off Amazon, and I had like 30, and I only needed like 5 or 6 for myself. So I swapped these instead, and people loved it. And I obviously didn't finish off. Like I've got 5 left. So you probably hear my kids going. It's okay. I got all of these. So Macy of Mace of Skeins was giving out, of course, the cards. These 2 came in the DFW class bag, which I'll show here in a minute, of from Monster Stitches. I think I got this one from, oh, I'm not off center, sorry. So those 2 were Monster Stitches. This one I think I got from Kate, from one of a Kate. This one I sat with a friend for a new friend for a little bit, and it was gorgeous. And then that I think came with the Monster Stitches, and I just put it on here. The little tassel's cute. And then I got one from Lesley from Knit Graffiti. It's just her logo. And then there's one here with the little orange thing. So those are all cute. And then Juju Knits was handing out some cards with a coupon, and some stitch stoppers. I will probably use these quite a bit. Oh, there's my Purple Lamb business card. And then I also, oh, last thing that I did purchase that I absolutely love is the By the Bay Bag Co. I knew I wanted a new bag from them. This is the, what size? I think it's the large. So I have the El Grande, which is a little bit bigger than this, and it has handles, or like 2 big handles to like put over your shoulder. This one just has this here, but it's a canvas drawstring bag. It's got 2 pockets on the inside. These bags are huge, and they are gorgeous. I mean, I've got 2 skeins of yarn. All of my DFW Fiberfest is sitting in here. Gorgeous, love it. I will use that quite a bit. And then I also, with the DFW Fiberfest classes, you can also purchase these like normally, but I got this big old bag, and it's the same style as last year. It's awesome. So now I have 2 of these in different colors, and this year you could choose between the blue and the pink. So there were all the sponsors, but it is a huge bag, perfect to carry around and throw your stash in as you're purchasing. So, oh, I also bought some stickers. That was my main thing, is I received this cup as a gift, and I wanted to cover it in stickers. It is not a Stanley, it is a My Bevy. But so I purchased a sticker from Suburban Stitcher. Macy was giving out these Juju Knits and Mace of Skeins collaborations. I purchased this one. I don't remember the store name. I got one from Natalie. I've had this one. had 2 of them, and I've had this one sitting around forever. Just not wanting to commit to put it. I put my other one on a different cup and have not yet decided what to do this one. So now I have Macy's original on here, and then this one here, which just says, "One cannot live on yarn alone, but I can try." So covered it in stickers, could use a couple more, but this one's like, I don't know what it is. It's not sitting flat, everything else is. So I've got a DFW Fiberfest one I need to try and see if it'll fit on here. But sounds like my sun is up now, so I'm gonna clean this up and get on with the rest of my day. So I hope everybody has had a great month, and you will not see this many purchases from me in the future. Yeah, I don't have any plans to buy yarn. My Advent time's coming up soon in the next couple months. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. I hope everybody has had a great month, and I will see you hopefully in 2 weeks. Bye.